It's fake. I'm old, but I'm here. So it's fine. What have you been told about this movie that you have not seen?
Fun, practical effects.
I beg your pardon? It's fun? Did you say it's fun? Who said it was fun? Are you high on marijuana right now? It's fun. Fun with practical effects? Meaning cheap ass effects? I think that's what the subtitle is to that. Did your mother bring you here? And mother, when did you first see this movie?
Oh, in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Like 12.
You're 12. Even younger. Yeah, awesome. Who took you? Who introduced you to the movie?
Nobody. It was the 80s. I had no fucking supervision.
And I'm only quoting her. I had no fucking supervision. Clearly not. Did you see it on video?
Yeah, VHS.
VHS. So you could stop it if it got too horrible. Okay, now, do you like horror movies in general?
Yeah.
You do. What do you like about horror movies?
They're a ton of fun.
They're what fun?
A ton of fun.
They're a ton of fun. Yeah. So I said head get chopped right off. Yeah.
Appreciate practical effects in our family.
Practical effects. You will see a person raped by a tree. Sorry, that's a spoiler. Might be a spoiler. Sorry, nothing happened to the actress. Just a little Dutch elm disease. That's a Midwest joke. Okay, so horror is just a ton of fun.
I was born on Halloween.
You were born on Halloween. Well, you're just destined for this shit, I guess. What's your favorite horror movie?
Evil Dead.
I was gonna say, careful.
Army of Darkness.
Well, that's just too obvious. Well, what is your favorite movie?
I have
Horror movie.
I have a real sentimental attachment to Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Well, you had some money coming, but screw that. Let's move on to somebody else who might have it. Has anybody seen the movie a lot? Like a lot? Like, give me some numbers. Bullshit, 1,000 times. You'd be in an institution right now if you've seen this movie 1,000 times. How many times have I seen it? 1,000 times. I do know how it ends.
It all makes sense now.
Does it ever end? I guess is the question. No.
It ended with a giant demon.
It ended with a giant demon?
Yeah.
Which one?
Ash versus the Evil Dead season 3. Your freaking cliffhanger.
So? Why don't you do something about it? Hey, no one watched that fucking show, so don't have to be better. I'll take you out right now. One at a time, I'll take you out. I would tell people, hey, great news. They're bringing Evil Dead back as a series. Oh my God, Bruce, it's great news. What's going to be on? Stars.
Yeah, well, let's see. Nobody has stars.
We did.
What stars? Oh! We got canceled because nobody knew that stars existed. They were kind of hoping we were going to put them on a map. Then it goes to Netflix, and people are like, hey, Bruce, I didn't know Netflix was doing a new show. Oh, you fuckers. But don't worry, none of you are guilty. It was only the most illegally downloaded TV show in the history of fucking TV shows. Why did it get canceled? Because you fuckers ripped it. Don't blame me for your fever. Here at
Sorry, not sorry.
Middle Finger Lakes driving out there. Does anybody have questions about this particular motion picture? Yes.
Hello, Mr. Campbell.
Hello. Bruce is fine.
Oh, Bruce. Okay, great. I was hoping we could be on a first name.
By the way, just because your question is amplified doesn't mean it's a good question. That's true. We may override you occasionally to go to this the Savages.
That's true. My wife says that all the time. Is I never have good questions.
You're not the funny one tonight.
That's a good thing. I'm a big fan of Evil Dead.
Good start.
Huge fan of Burn Notice.
Okay, yeah, good.
So my question to you is, when you're out on the streets, aside from your real name, Bruce Campbell, what do people actually call you? Because for me, it's Jackass. So I was just wondering, what name do they go by?
Jackass. I get Sam Max a lot. I get Chuck Finley. That'll be Sam Max's alias. I get that a little bit. Chuck Finley. Restaurant reservations. Yeah, over here. Yeah.
Down here, Hobbit Height.
Hi there.
My question is, outside of the Evil Dead franchise, what was your favorite thing to do as an actor and your most rewarding project?
I have projects that no one has ever seen. And so, thanks for that too. No, I did a film called Running Time, which is a really cool, weird crime drama that's all done in one shot, the whole movie. Yeah, you will. And what's cool is it's only 25 years old. That's cool. So, it makes it vintage. It's vintage. Yeah. So a lot of times there's projects that people have never seen. Like I did a French film called La Pâte Noire, The Ice Rink. Nope, that bullshit. I'll help the guy out. Yeah.
Oui.
That's okay. That's all good. Next, are you?
Hey, how you doing, Bruce?
Hey.
Chris coming from Bronx. I have a question for you. I have 3 iconic films in the Evil Dead franchise.
3 iconic films.
To me, yeah, they're very iconic.
Okay.
I grew up with these films, but what was the process like for you, and what were the challenges to stepping back into the character in the show?
Coming back as a TV show, the recent show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, that nobody watched. He was the hardest working man in show business, my stunt guy. His name is Raisho Vezolev, and most actors don't talk about their stunt guy. I will always say his name with great joy, because he would take the shit, and then I would get up and go like that. And I'd be walking across the set after working one day, and I'd hear this crash at the other end of the stage, and that meant Raisho was getting thrown, ratcheted on a cable all the way across the set into a wall. And I'd go, Raisho, how'd it go? He'd go, fuck this shit, boss!
Thanks, Happy.
But he always called me boss, so it all worked out fine. He's a great photo double that we injured mercilessly. Yeah. Poor fucker. That's all right. The pain goes away in payday. Yes.
How you doing, Bruce?
Hi. Yeah.
All right. So my question to you is:
Yeah.
clearly, you guys shot within the woods first, right?
That was a
Before
little
the-
demo movie
Yeah.
in the super 8mm format,
Yeah.
like full amateur format.
And that movie was basically like what you guys imagined as Evil Dead before having the budget to make Evil Dead.
Yeah,
right?
we did a little half-hour version of it to show investors. We'd go, hey, it's like this, only like way better. And it worked.
Yeah, but when you guys did Within the Woods, did you guys already imagine a cabin and everything, or did that come about when you guys started filming?
Well, this
Evil
was,
Dead?
Sam had this story he wanted to do, but because we had no money, we thought, let's use Rob Tappert's farmhouse that his family actually owned in Marshall, Michigan. So we just, we saved a lot of money and just filmed there. It was good practice.
Nice. Thank you.
So it worked. The Coen brothers did something similar.
Okay.
Because Joel Coen was the assistant editor of this movie. Yeah, Mr. Fancy Pants. To me, he's Joel, get me a cup of coffee, Coen. Watch this sequence where Ash is going to chain his girlfriend up, Linda. He edited that whole sequence. And he did a really good job. And that's how Sam got to know him, was doing that movie. Yeah, right here.
Hey Bruce, I'm a huge Evil Dead fan, but
Okay.
I'm also a huge music fan.
Music fan, okay.
I read your first If Chins Could Kill, but I'd love to know who your favorite musical artist is.
My favorite musical artists are, well, I was a DJ in high school, and I would play during study hall, and I would play Kiss on the radio, Yeah, stick around, the story's not over yet. And this is on the days of turntables. And I would stick my finger on the turntable and I would drag that piece of shit song to death. And the studio, the recording studio had the door that was 4 inches thick and I would lock that. Because all the guys, we called them burnouts back in that day. You fucking asshole! What the fuck you did? I was like, I knew it worked, so I played another Kiss song and dragged that fucker to death. That's what I would do. And then I would play some really stupid song that your grandfather would play. Like a John Philip Sousa march, I'd play right after that. And they're like, how did this guy get this fucking job? I like music that doesn't hurt my ears.
Hey Bruce, how's it going tonight? Looking very handsome.
Like James Taylor, yeah.
I have a question. Going back to the conception of Evil Dead.
Yes.
Now take us back 40 years, right?
Okay, let's go back 40 years.
You're thinking about, you come away from this meeting where Sam pitches this idea to you.
A meeting? What are you talking about?
That's what I want to know.
We're in fucking high school, there's no meeting.
So your thoughts walking away from this project, like what's going through your head?
I just had a great meeting with Sam Raimi. He pitched me this idea.
Yeah, let's hear it.
No, sir, that's not the chronology. In high school, that's where I met Sam. I met Sam the very first time in junior high school. He was in the middle of the hallway in 8th grade, dressed like Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, that's a really weird, dumb outfit. Playing with dolls. I'm walking down the hallway, minding my own business, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go way around that guy. Now Sam claims to this day he was making a movie. Oh no, there was no camera anywhere. Sam is just a freak. So I got into typing class in my junior year of high school, because I got into typing class, I'm like, why does everyone around me know how to type? Why are they in this class? How did I get in this class? How did I get into typing? So I went to the counselor, I said, hey, can I drop this class? I didn't even know if you could. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, what do you got? They went, radio speech. I was like, yeah, put me in radio speech. We can do like the morning announcements and stuff. Sam was in the class, a radio speech. So we started doing morning announcements over the radio, broadcast over the high school radio. And Sam would do shit like he'd sit behind me in class. And if I went to raise my hand to answer, he'd take a number 2 pencil and he'd stick it in the back of my neck to where the teacher couldn't see it because he's directly behind me. And he wants to see who can last longer, me or him. Like, can I answer the question without screaming out in pain? Or is he going to snap that pencil off because I'm not going to give in to that little shit? He was a little shit right from the start. It was a battle of wills right from the go-get. So we started making movies together, little amateur movies, and by the end of high school we were like, oh crap, high school's done. We have no plans for anything in the future. So Sam thought, rather than writing a comedy, which might need like a John Candy or a Steve Martin, horror movies don't need anybody. Look at Halloween, the original Halloween. Who the hell knew Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah,
Nobody. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nobody. Gunnar Hansen came out of that, but nobody knew anybody. Horror movies were cheap like that. So Sam was like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to just write a horror movie. But he decided, if you're going to make a horror movie, don't let it blend in, because we got training at places like this. In 1979, they still showed lots of movies in drive-ins, so we would go and see Revenge of the Cheerleaders. What a piece of shit, but it doesn't matter. We saw the audience when they didn't like what was happening. They flicked the lights on like, fuck, boring. And we're like, wow, I fucking hate this movie right now. And then whenever the action would start, so we sort of learned, like we saw Texas Chainsaw, the original, at a drive-in. Scared the crap out of us. Because once that movie started going full speed ahead, it never stopped. It never let up. Nobody honked their horn at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because they were too busy going, the fuck am I watching? I mean, it's such a good horror movie. The opening images of that movie was close-ups of dead bodies, skeletons who'd been draped over in a cemetery over the tombstones, and it was like ugly police photographs of this. So you realize, you went, some twisted fuckers dug these bodies up and thought it was funny to drape them over the tombstones, like, you know, these horrible skeletons. I'm like, I think I'm in trouble. I think this movie's going to be trouble. So we were influenced definitely by these movies, but definitely the ones that really kept the action going. That's what got us into horror, really. And then once you're in, which is fun.
Hi, Bruce. My name is Winkle.
Hi, nice hat. Nice
Thank
flashy
you.
ass hat. And you keep them in different colors? Like that's just a
No,
revolving
there's multiple
setting?
settings.
Yeah.
It can be.
Oh, whoa, hold on a second.
Hold on. Let's see spitting.
Oh, that's a good one. The red. That's good for tonight.
That's scary. There's actually a two-part question. First
Oh,
part.
thank God, 2 parts.
First question. I'm actually an aspiring actor. I did some work in Syracuse movie. It's called American High.
Oh, I heard all about it.
So if you do projects, I recommend.
I heard you got cut out.
Don't tell anybody. My question is, what's your advice for an aspiring actor to, like, what, you know, how you did it? What's
My advice is don't say no for a while. You better say yes, mostly yes, and just do a bunch of random shit. And some of it's Maniac Cop, some of it's Moontrap, some of it's Mind Warp, some of it's Tag Man with a Screaming Brain. You can't hit them all out of the park. So you just got to keep trying, and you'll get better because you'll suck at first. And thankfully, the movie that I sucked in was the most successful for me. Yeah. So tonight I'm showing my pimply ass to the world when I was 21.
in HD?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's 4K. Yeah.
Hopefully we see you in American High. It'll be cool to surprise you. And the second question is, I don't know if you got this before, but what's your favorite flavor of Campbell soup?
My favorite flavor of soup. As long as you realize that your 2-part question, that the second part of your 2-part was a stupid question. Sure. Cream of mushroom. 'Cause you can use that with the tuna casserole. Thanks for that. Let's take a brief from the amplified people. Does anyone who's non-amplified have a question or something? Yes.
I have a quick one for you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, the 3 Spider-Man, Tobey
The
Maguire.
3 Spider-Man. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Fuck, Mary, kill.
What's my favorite?
Fuck, Mary, kill.
Fuck, Mary, kill? No. It's more important to do a recap of my participation in the Spider-Man movie. Because in the first Spider-Man, he wants to be called the Human Spider. And I tell him that sucks, and I introduce him as the Amazing Spider-Man. So if my character was not in the first Spider-Man, this billion-dollar franchise would be called the Human Spider. The second Spider-Man, I have a small, insignificant role as the snooty usher.
Yeah.
Spider-Man comes to see Mary Jane in the play, but he's late. So I won't let him in because it'll spoil the illusion. Technically, I'm the only character who's ever defeated Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm not tooting my own horn, but root toot toot. Third Spider-Man. How often does a superhero come to a mortal asking for help? Huh? The 7th? Never. That's how often. Spider-Man comes to me to help propose to Mary Jane, to get my help. Do I help him? Not really, because he was kind of a dick to me in the first 2 movies. That's all you need to know about Spider-Man. I'm not sure. Fuck Mary Kill. Do that on your own time. Now let's go back to the microphone. Trustworthy, man. That was a mistake. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. These guys at least practice their
So, my favorite role of yours is like one of the first roles I ever saw you in.
Okay.
Autolycus, the King of Thieves.
Autolycus, the King of Thieves. Thank you. Good.
And it seemed like you had a lot of fun with that character and the actors. Is there?
Now that's very tricky. That's what you say. That's what you say to actors when you think their play sucked that you just saw. Man, you guys look like you had a lot of fun. Look at you guys. That looked like a blast.
See, it was better than Hercules, but no, it looked like fun to me. But was there any like cast members from any like shows you've done over time that you've like really had a lot of fun with during the filming and like kept in touch with afterwards?
Yeah, most of them. There's only 10% that are D-bags out there. You know, most thespians are pretty rational, funny people. Which ones? Oh, throw out a name. Lucy Lawless, charming, lovely, wonderful, sexy, friendly, humble, Sorbo. He's a good golfer. I don't think I should play this game. Tobey Maguire was fine, but after the first Spider-Man, he sees me, he goes, "Oh yeah, you're a friend of Sam's, yeah." Like, that's how I got the part. I come back for the second one, he goes, "Why are you back?" I'm like, "Tell me, why don't you not worry about it?" And by the third one, he goes, "Oh," I come walking on the set, he goes, "Oh, I see, we just can't make Spider-Man without Bruce Campbell." I'm like, "Toby, you're starting to get with the program."
I can't remember who's in the third one.
James Roday, those guys were great. I was on the second to last episode, and they had a great run. People love that show. I'm sorry.
Burn notice.
Burn Notice was fun too, because I was not the star of it. We had to not tell the star of the show, Jeffrey Donovan, that I was done filming for the day. He always gave me the stink eye. And I had one day, I came out at about 9 o'clock in the morning was my call. I came out to the end of the street, went like this. And walked back. "Okay, Bruce is done for the day." I'm like, don't tell Donovan. No, he'll hate me. So that show was fun because of that. Yeah, I know every low-grade bar in the Miami area. Not for drinking, just for character study. Yeah. Somebody over here? Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell was great because he's been in the industry since he was a kid and like Lost in Space, for God's sake. He goes so far back. People who go that far back, who are child actors, are either really cool people or they're, by the time they're 30, they're selling drugs in Miami. So Kurt was great. Kurt was really, he was very normal. He came up to me, first thing, Kurt Russell. I've never met the guy. He goes, "Hey, Bruce, say work shed." I'm like, "Say work shed. Are you talking about an obscure line from Evil Dead 2? He goes, "Yeah, my son Wyatt wants me to have you say work shed." Because he thought it was funny. Because in the movie, it's very obvious. You'll see it, I think, tonight, right? There's a point where I am trying to figure out what to do, and I say the word, "work shed." And we put it in a very obvious spot. It was very badly mixed in, and it just stood out. Work shed. And wanted me to say work shed. Yeah, thanks, Kurt. Embarrassed me right from the start. Back to here, sure.
All right. How's it going, Bruce?
Great, thanks.
So, what can you tell us about any future projects?
Future projects, another Evil Dead movie is filming right now. I have retired from the role of Ash, but don't cry for me, Argentina. They did a very good remake in 2013 by Fede Alvarez. Look, that's a pretty hard-hitting, scary-ass, creepy son of a bitch movie. And this one is urban. This one is set. It's not in the woods anymore. It's pretty cool and pretty intense. So you will shit yourselves. Yeah. So we're just gonna. It's another Evil Dead story. That silly book gets around. Yes.
But how true is the post that you made with the Doctor Strange and the multiverse?
How true is the post that I made? Why, I didn't say Doctor Strange in a post that you're referring to.
The one where it's like he comes in and he sees you, and you're like, whoa, what the hell are you doing here? And
Oh, the fake post.
yeah, oh, is it fake? Is it?
Did we fool you, sir? I guess it was dated April Fool's, so maybe.
I could have been higher drunk. I don't know.
Sorry, sir, it's fake. Bruce versus Frankenstein. No. No, Frank has left the building. Yes.
If you could possibly give any of your other properties the Evil Dead 2 treatment, so kind of tackling the same subject but with a bigger budget. And,
What are you saying, sir? First of all, what are your implications? That we tacked on Evil Dead 2? Let's just throw on a little something at the end of it. Is that what you're talking about? Like it was that cavalier? Reimagining is your word, sir.
If you could do that to any other property, what do you think you would want?
I wouldn't reimagine like you think I'm doing, sir. You and I don't agree with your assessment of reimagining. I think you're imagining the reimagining. Or am I imagining things?
You walk me through Imagine to go.
Thank you very much for your insightful question. How about out here somewhere? I can't see your hands, so you have to shout.
What happened to Bobby Joe?
What happened to Bobby Joe? She's not my girlfriend. She's not a soap opera.
Yeah, I got a question.
Cassie Wesley, she has been for years, yeah.
Will you appear maybe in the Doctor Strange upcoming film?
And the upcoming Doctor Strange film. It's possible. It's possible. What's possible? Sam Raimi's directing it. I'd say it's highly probable. No, it doesn't matter what I say. They shoot so much for these movies. Half of it is going to be going flap, flap, flap on the editing room floor. So we'll see if I was to have been in it, if I survived it or not. That's why I can't really say, other than legal reasons. How, what? The what? The game. The game is surprisingly good. It is. I'm supposed to say it's good, right? But I don't have to say how good it is. It's actually, all you gaming bastards will be very happy for the wait. I think it's February 2022. Because they finally were going to do one upgrade that is like, so they can be as bitchin' as any other game out there. Because that's the problem with these games. They make a game, and they're like, oh crap, the platform is outmoded. And then a year goes by. Okay, we're ready. Oh crap, that's outmoded too. I did a whole game, recorded hours and hours and hours, and by the time the game came out, no one had that platform anymore. It just died. Okay. Technology, it changes. This movie was shot, by the way, Evil Dead in 16 millimeter, which is an amateur format, but we got it blown up to 35 millimeter so we could show it in theaters. And we did that by, I took advantage of my divorced father. So you filmmakers out there, if you're real shits, you'll be able to get your movie made. My dad gets divorced from my mother. They were married for 24 years. My dad has got the 10,000-yard stare. He's sitting on the back porch, looking at nothing. I go, hey, Dad, because we had a little piece of property in the middle part of Michigan. We always hold up our hand from there. I go, Dad, what are you going to do with that property in northern Michigan? He goes, why? I go, Dad, we got to get the movie to 35 millimeter. You're an investor in the movie. We'd hate to lose your investment by not getting it to the point where we can get it into the theaters. We have one last step. We need $35,000 to blow it up from 16 millimeter to 35 millimeter. Can we use the property against the bank loan to get that money? So again, only try this when your parents are devastated. And that nothing you can say will hurt them more than what they've just been through. It worked like gangbusters. My dad goes, whatever. He just drifted off. I went, got him. We went to the Mid-Michigan Bank in Gladwin, Michigan. walk in there with our Montgomery Ward briefcases. We'd like to get a loan for a laboratory process. Guy goes, really? You realize we only loan to like farmers and ranchers and people like that, right? We go, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Well, we got some property to put up against. He goes, what are you gonna do? We're gonna blow it. We're gonna blow 16 millimeter up to 35. We kept saying that. We're gonna blow it up. We're gonna blow it up. And the guy, he looked at us. He goes, guys, you can blow up whatever you'd like. If you don't pay back $444 every month until it's paid back, we're gonna take your dad's property. You pretty clear about that? We're like, yeah, we're gonna go blow something up. He goes, go blow it up, guys. So about 2 years later, we paid him back. But it was a very nerve-wracking, very irresponsible moment on my part. But it worked. And each investor of Evil Dead has probably made 40 times their money back. My dad was always, oh, Jesus Christ, if I got a check today, it's like finding it in the street. And my mom got a check one time for the movie because she got a little percentage too, and a check came in, and it was the exact amount that she could change all the windows in her house. She loved Anderson windows. The double pane windows. She could give a shit about anything else. She wanted double pane Anderson windows, and that check was perfect. So I'd call her in the dead of winter, Mom, how are those windows working? Oh, those Anderson windows are great. You gotta take care of your mom, you know. You can't let your mom freeze to death in these cold climates. All right, we'll do like two more questions and we'll get the hell out of here. Yes.
I might have the last question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's see how good it is.
I'm sure you're happy to hear this.
If it's good. If it's good.
I think we're all happy that you're here, and we're all happy to see you.
I only had to come from Los Angeles, so it wasn't that far.
One flight. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I'm curious, like you and Sam and a bunch of your friends made this really
You're right.
cool
This is
movie.
going to be the last question.
Yeah. No, it's totally perfect.
Yeah, good.
I'm curious, did you all go to a drive-in and see this movie? And if you did, do you have any awesome stories you can share with all of us about being in a drive-in?
Did we see this movie?
Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Did you all go see it in a drive-in? Projected when it first came out. And do you have any cool stories about just seeing what you made? Like, there's a lot of aspiring actors and filmmakers here. Like,
while you were
what was
taking
it
a
like?
leak a few minutes ago, I told the story.
No,
I'm finally seeing it in my actual theater that I went to as a kid.
No, I was like
So you wanted a different
back.
story? You didn't want that story. You wanted a drive-in story.
I want a drive-in story.
What kind would you like? I'll give it to you right now.
Moderately good, but maybe a little better than moderately good.
Okay, so I'll just match your moderate with a good question. What was the question? So driving experience. Yeah, because you want to see your movie where the rubber meets the road. The weird thing, though, about going to drive-ins is you don't get a sense of whether they liked it or not because you can't hear it. They could be dying inside their car. You hear, the car would be rocking a little bit. Smoke would seep out of the windows. You know, that's more of steam. Yeah, that's more of what you experience at a drive-in. I don't know what drive-ins you've been to, but
It's mostly the car rocking.
it's not the best barometer for. It's better in a big theater to see it live. But this will be fun.
I've already seen it projected in a drive-in, but I'm curious if you saw it originally and what the experience was as a new filmmaker and a new actor seeing your movie projected in a crazy
I know what you want.
sweaty cars rolling.
Good.
I was really trying for the last question.
Great. Yeah, you're trying hard, man.
This guy's trying to kick me off the mic right now.
Yeah.
Totally.
And you know what? You should do a better job with it. The answer is yes. It's great to see your movie in a drive-in because that was the goal. That was the idea, was to get it projected in front of America. So yes, it felt great. Yes to all your questions. Yes. And by the way, I do want to thank you for coming out. Thank you for keeping this movie semi-relevant for 4 decades now. It's a little ridiculous, but you know, I sort of look at it this way. This is a completely analog movie. If you want to say, have you seen an analog movie? Yes, Evil Dead. There's not a digital anything anywhere. We are not George Lucas going, I'm a little embarrassed over those earlier scenes. Now that I'm a billionaire, I'm gonna fucking throw money at this thing. No, not this movie. All the green garden hose that was spewing the blood, it's still there. Oh yeah, homemade movie. You can see wires and strings and the evil entity that's roaming through the woods. It was done with a 5.9mm lens. You see the lights, you see everything. But we're hoping it's moving fast enough. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just get out of the way of that thing. So we're very grateful that it caught on, because we would not have been, it got us all into the film business. So I will never say a negative thing about any of the Evil Dead movies, because they were their own unique experience, and you managed to follow a series of stories that never made sense in the first place. So thank you for sticking with that. You know, if you made a fan edit, cut out all the recaps for the other 2 movies, and string it together, it'll make perfect sense. The recaps were because we didn't have the rights to our own movie. We did Evil Dead 2. We couldn't get the rights from New Line Cinema. That's our own movie. They're like, no. So we had to refilm a recap, and people thought Ash was stupid enough to go back to the cabin with new friends. So we apologize for the confusion. It actually does make sense.
We love it.
Yeah, thanks for loving it. Good.
It was trauma amnesia.
Trauma amnesia. Traumnesia. Very good. Thanks for coming out. You guys mean a lot. I appreciate it very much. Have a great night.